This Family Life News podcast is made possible by the support of listeners like you.
Hi, I'm Bob Price, and this is a Family Life News special report. Today we're talking to focus on the family parenting expert, Dr. Danny Huerta, about the need for sleep in school-age kids. It can make a big difference when it comes to academic performance and can even reduce the risk for childhood depression. How about that? I spoke recently with the good doctor, and here's more of our conversation about sleep and kids. Why don't we just start out, Doctor, talking about how vital sleep hygiene is to overall success in kids at school?
Yeah, sleep helps to get the brain reset for the day. So what sleep does is it repairs the brain. It provides a consolidating of what you've learned and provides the opportunity for memory to take shape. And so if a child over time doesn't get the sleep they need, they become dysregulated, not only emotionally, but also just in making sense of what's happening in their life. Like memory is fragmented, and in that, they just begin to see moodiness and other things happen. You also begin to see a breakdown of their mental health. Sleep is super critical for a child's development.
Sure is. Not just for the kiddos, but for us old fogies, too. I imagine one of the reasons why there's such a sleep deficit in kids is those smartphones. For parents, I know a lot of them that struggle mightily with setting up these no-phone zones in the bedroom, that the lights are out, the screens are off at a certain time. Help our parents, especially, again, with young children, in establishing those guidelines so that they're not constantly fighting with their kids about the phones in the bedroom.
Yeah, you really want to have, for just a regular-brained child, that means they don't have ADHD or autism or some of these other neurodivergent things, 2 hours before bedtime, they should have that blue light off. Phones shouldn't be in the bedroom. And really, if you're watching TV as a family, that's fine. Many times some kids start to fall asleep with that and rest. But it's the constant dopamine hit of being on social media and getting those hits of curiosity as well as they're scrolling through their phone. So parents, don't be afraid to disappoint your kids by saying, hey, you can't have your phone in your room by yourself at night. You can put a bedtime for the phone, just like a car, an electric car needs to be plugged in to be ready for the next day, and your devices need to be plugged in. They need rest just like you do, and you need a break. And so those phones need to be the kitchen counter or somewhere public. And that way they know that at any moment those phones can be looked through. It just gives accountability. It doesn't mean you're checking their phone all the time. It just shows that, hey, this is a public thing. It needs to be open. When we have devices in our home, it's open for review. But also, they're having the discipline of putting it away at 8, 9 o'clock at night, and they're reading a book or doing something else that helps them fall asleep so that they're prepared for the next day.
If you would just remind us again, how much sleep should a school-age child be getting every night?
Yeah, it depends on their age, but I would say that teenagers, it is 7 to 9 hours of sleep a night. And then the younger the child is, the more hours they need. So when you get down to the middle school ages, let's say 8 to 13, the number goes up a bit. That's 8 to 10 hours. And then when you go down to, say, 5th grade and below, you're looking at 9 to 11 hours is pretty ideal for those kids. They need to have that sleep. And also one piece of research that I think is important for all of us to understand is if we go to bed at 10 and let's say get up at 6, that's 8 hours. That's a better time frame than midnight and 8 in the morning because there's reparative process that's happening between that 10 and midnight time. And so if a child misses that consistently, you'll see a breakdown of mental health.
That's really interesting. I never heard that. Not just how much, but when you sleep is important too. And, you know, here in New York and Pennsylvania where we broadcast, school starts around the Labor Day holiday, a little earlier in Pennsylvania, a little later in New York. I know some schools are already back at it. For those parents in our area, should they be right now training their children to get back on this back-to-school schedule by getting them to bed a little earlier than they typically would during the summer months.
Yes, you want to gradually shift the bedtime to where it needs to be, and this is a great time to begin doing that. And celebrate the fact that you're doing it well. So set up some goals as a family. Hey, if we do our sleep hygiene well, let's celebrate on the weekend. That's going to be our ticket to go out to dinner together as a family on the weekend, or that'll be our ticket to watch a movie together as a family and camp out. So you need to model that and show a value to having good sleep hygiene. So as parents, there's a temptation to just, hey, let's put the kids to bed, and then let's stay up till midnight or 1 o'clock, and they hear that. Make sure you begin to also show and model the fact that you value sleep as well. And so when they go to bed, you guys spend time as a couple, you do that, but then also show that maybe you're shifting a little bit to an earlier time so that you're not exhausted and tired as parents, because there's that temptation to just keep doing your own lack of sleep hygiene. And then your kids see that you need to model what you're trying to put into your home.
That is Focus on the Family parenting expert, Dr. Danny Huerta. He's talking to us today about the need for sleep in school-age children. So important. You know, studies have shown teens who get enough sleep at night have a more than 40% reduced risk for depression. I'm Bob Price, and this is the Noon Report on Family Life.
Thank you for listening to this Family Life News podcast. If you've been encouraged by what you've heard, please share it with others and click the subscribe button to automatically receive future episodes. Family Life is a listener-supported ministry. Podcasts like this are made possible by your financial partnership. Find out more at familylife.org.